If we take another trip into set times for our cue list, into playback options, you'll find options to set legend. So this will be for the particular cue you're in, so this will be for cue 1 or step 1, and you can write notes about this particular cue and step as well. The notes will appear in the white section of your cue stack and chase control screen when that cue is next, so you can see what you're about to hit go for. In the more options, you will find the ability to stop your cue list from progressing once it's got to your last cue. By default, stop on last cue will be disabled, but if you enable it, then once you've hit the final step of your cue list, you would have to refire the playback to get it to go back to cue 1. So there's no danger of double pressing on your last step and bumping back round to step 1 anymore. Currently your fader control is set to none. This behaviour is best demonstrated if we shift and up out of the menu, and you'll see that when you bring your playback fader down for your list, you're simply reducing the intensity of the cue list. The cue list isn't released, the live cue that you're in is not reset. If you bring your fader back up, you're simply reinstating that dimmer intensity. To release your cue list in this setting, you would hold down Shift and press the blue key of your list. That releases your list, and the next time you activate it, cue 1 becomes next and go progresses you into cue 1. And that's fader control none. If we go into set times for the cue list again, go into playback options, more options, we can change our fader control to kill. If I shift and up, you'll see that means when I release my list, it's deactivated. So every time you activate it, it starts with cue 1 as next, and when you hit go, cue 1 goes live, and when you reduce it down to 0, it's fully released. The final option in your fader control, so set times for your cue list, into playback options, more options, is fader control manual. Shift and up out that menu, and you'll see now that every fader movement triggers a step, both up and down. Your link ons will not take effect while your fader control is on manual. Last time into the set times menu for our cue list, playback options, more options, and you'll find the ability to renumber cues. You would use that if you've inserted a step, so you've ended up with point cues. To insert a step, if I shift and up out of my timing menu, one of the easiest ways is if we set our cue list back to fader control none, so once more into set times, cue list, playback, more, fader control none, shift and up, then I'm able to bring down my intensity without releasing my list. This allows me to create a new step for my list without having to look at any output existing from my list, so I can choose my lights, set them into a position, create my look, and then if I want to record that as an inserted step, I can use the record step option of my cue stack and chase control area once more. But this time, rather than accepting the live cue that the console will default to, if I wanted to insert this step in between steps 3 and 4, I would simply type in 3.5 and then press enter. If I now clear my programmer, bring the intensity back up for my list, I can jump back to go to 1, press to cut to live, and we can see step 2, running straight into step 3. Then I hit go for cue 3.5. So that's our inserted step. And then finally cue 4. You also, as an option, can view your cue list on your monitor simply by pressing the Connect View grey key of your playback, and a screen view of your list will automatically appear on your monitor. You'll be able to see items like your legends and also your notes and auto loads that you may have set for your list in this screen view, as well as the cue stack and chase control area. And that's everything about cue lists.